Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Drop Gems and we're back with another gem for you. And it is Collateral, Michael Mann's Collateral 2004, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. So guys, I want to talk about this. This is going to be a fucking rant. And it's going to be a rant. It's going to be a mix here, of course. And I want to discuss it. So really, I'm just going to shoot it right out there, right from the start. The first thing I thought about this movie when I saw it was why Jamie Foxx. And I'm trying to convince myself of reasons to why Jamie Foxx. And I never can with this movie. And that's where the movie fails us. And that's where the movie, I'm so surprised that it made this much money, which is a $65 million budget. You know, most of that went to Tom Cruise. And the box office made $220 million because it's Tom Cruise. There's no doubt about it. And Michael Mann a little bit there. His making, the director of Heat, of course, and other great, good movies. You know, he's got a fucking style that you can latch onto and you want to be in that world. So props to Michael Mann on Collateral's environment and atmosphere and sucking us in and wanting to go there and be there. Cool shit from Michael Mann as always. But the box office here shows it made a lot of money, and it's not because of Jamie Foxx. And anyone praising this movie for Jamie Foxx's performance is not telling the truth, of course, once again. Because Jamie Foxx is shit in this movie. They could have got anyone else to play this character. It would have been great. But Jamie Foxx is just not set for this role. And you can tell, and you feel it in this movie. You don't feel Jamie Foxx's panic and his frustration. There's one scene in this movie where he sees it. Spoilers ahead, you know that. Fuck that. And there's one scene in this movie where he is pretending to be Tom Cruise, of course, and going to a boss and talk as Tom Cruise. He meets the boss, and the boss. It's a good scene for Jamie Foxx. It shows a little bit of what he can do, not everything, but it shows something. But the other scenes, they could have been played so much more emphasis on emotion and showing stuff. Look at Tom Cruise. You're opposite Tom Cruise in this $1 million movie. $65 million for what? There's no CGI. There's no special effects. There's no huge cast. So the $65 million, you know exactly where the fuck it went to. Went to shooting these great shots of the city and the nighttime feel and the nightlife of LA and the actor Tom Cruise. And you know Tom Cruise is bringing his fucking A game. And he brings his fucking A game. And Jamie Foxx brings nothing. He brings shit to this role. I could have played this fucking role blind. I could have played this shit blind and deaf and myself, and I could have drove the taxi and listened to Tom Cruise threaten me over and over and say cruel shit to me and tell me about life. No doubt about it. This is some motherfucking shit. Okay? And anyone that praises this movie for Jamie Foxx's performance, praise it for Tom Cruise, praise it for Michael Mann, praise it for the cinematography, praise it for even the music, because there's some great tracks in this. There's this time where, listen, this movie, when he comes into this club, and it is right when Jamie Foxx is doing his cool scene, the only cool scene, which is in the club with the boss. He comes in, it's his hit. You know, he's got to hit this boss, so he sends Jamie in to distract, no doubt about it. He comes in, Tom Cruise, there's this music track playing. And this is where Mark Ruffalo here, the Hulk, is in this movie early on in his career. And man, he's good. He's good for what scenes he's in. Legit. Good cast. Good casting. Fuck yeah. So he's in, and he gets murked a little bit, but a little bit after this, but Tom Cruise comes in, there's this awesome track playing, and I can feel the track now. It's not that track that you know, it's a dance track, a house track. It's fucking banging, and I do hear it in my head, and it's just, you can hear the tone. I can ring it. That's when you know it's a good soundtrack. That's when you know you're feeling that shit, and he just kills everybody in the room, like before John Wick. We're talking 2004. He walks in like the hitman he is, and this movie and Tom Cruise and Michael Mann should get more credit for this originality at the time of 2004 of this character and of the movie. And before John Wick, there was Tom Cruise in Collateral. So fuck off. And they try to give you that sidekick partner. They try to give you that guy. At the time of 2004, I think Jamie Foxx came out with a couple hip hop tracks. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it. I don't want to do any research on Jamie Foxx. I don't want to look up his Wikipedia. I just want to get over this fucking rant. But this is a great movie. I suggest this movie. 2 hours exactly. Michael Mann on point. If you love the movie Heat, if you love good acting, if you love action, you know, you will, and if you love Tom Cruise or you hate Tom Cruise, okay? This is not a praise about Tom Cruise or anything like that personal. This is just on Collateral and 2004's. And let me tell you, man, you will tune in because Tom Cruise makes me believe what he is. And that's the amazing thing about Tommy Cruise. You can say whatever the fuck you want about him personally, but let me tell you professionally, this man takes everything serious. He is a dedicated force, and he does the fucking job. He is one of the most memorable actors of our time. This generation, the next generation, doesn't matter. He adapts, I Ching, all that shit. Collateral. Look at this shit. Watch this movie. I want to go over the plot real quick. Now, Max, of course, played by Jamie motherfucking Foxx. Ugh. The one downside of this movie, the huge downside, could have made a lot more money and been more memorable. People would remember this movie and mention it as one of the greats, up there with John Wick, if they would have just got something better than Jamie Foxx to go off of. You know, Tom Cruise does his job, but you're focusing on two characters here. That's what you're doing. So the secondary character has to be just as good as the first. You know, there is no Batman without Robin, is there? Well, there is, you know, because Tom Cruise proves that in this movie. There is no Robin, obviously, because there's this Max character, this Jamie Foxx. He doesn't do it justice. He does it nothing, and he doesn't help Tom Cruise in any way, even in the movie as the character, as his, or in acting wise and chemistry wise. He doesn't help Tom Cruise. He doesn't work with Tom Cruise. I don't know what the deal was with that, but something was wrong with Jamie Foxx for this movie. So, anyways, Jamie Foxx is a cab driver. I'm gonna try to just go off my dome here because you know maybe the movie deserves that. So he's a cab driver in the beginning of the movie, and you see that he doesn't want to be a cab driver. He wants to be something more in his life, and he wants to, you know, drive limos and have a limo business and all that. So you could tell that. And then there's this chick, played Miss Jada Pinkett Smith. She's good, no doubt. Props. She comes into the role for a scene, and you know Jamie Foxx likes her. She gives her they have a little bit of chemistry going to him. I do like that scene. Props to Jamie Foxx on that scene with Jada, and you can tell they know each other outside of the movie, no doubt about it. So there's chemistry. But anyone else that Jamie Foxx don't know, there's no chemistry. I don't know what it is. He just can't make a real connection, I guess, outside of whatever friends he already has or knows. There's something wrong there. But anyways, so yeah, so Jada is, you know, likes Max here, played by Jamie Foxx. She gives him the card. Then that's it. They part ways. After that, Jamie Foxx's next dude for the night is, of course, Mr. Tom Cruise here. And Mr. Tom Cruise. His name, oh boy, let's look up his name. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Vincent, yeah, good name. Strong name. It really matches him in this role. Fucking A, he picks him up. Anyways, let's get to it. Gonna wrap this rant up. And he gets to it, you know, he takes him somewhere, there's a body that falls out, hits Jamie's cab. He's like, what the fuck is going on? You know, he's blown away by this. And, you know, basically, Tom Cruise takes him on a ride. He holds him hostage, yes, literally with a gun to his head, and tells him that you will do what I say, you will drive me to these locations where I will murder people, and this is my job, and you will do your job, which is a taxi driver, and just drive me to those locations, and I'll pay you money to do it. And, you know, you think in your head, I would do that, you know, or, you know, got a gun to his head. I don't know. Jamie Foxx you'll see why he turns into a hero or what have you. But anyway, whatever. So I don't want to go too deep on this shit. I don't, because I just want to give it praise and that's it. All right, I want to back off. I don't feel well doing that. So let's just go to the rest of it. So yeah, he takes Tommy Cruise all around. Tommy Cruise is a badass. You see a lot of scenes where he's just fucking doing people. There's this one scene where Jamie Foxx is tied up by Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise has to go up to the apartment to kill someone. He does that. He comes back down. He sees that Jamie Foxx is being robbed while he's tied up, taking Thomas Cruise's very important briefcase with a laptop in it, and basically kills the 3 or 4 people within a split second. Not even a second. It was great. It was fucking wonderful. Before John Wick, we have Mr. Tom Cruise, Vincent, here, just doing it. Nasty. And that's it. That's a good scene. And then there's a scene here, of course, when he goes to the jazz club, and, you know, Jamie Foxx is trying to act like he's surprised and doesn't want anyone to plead for his dude's life. It doesn't go over well with me at all. I don't believe Jamie Foxx at all. I just don't believe him. I know he's Jamie Foxx in this role. That's the thing. I know he's Jamie Foxx. He's just Jamie Foxx. He's not nothing else. There's no costume. There's nothing on him. He's always Jamie Foxx in every role. That's it. That's just it. You know it's Jamie Foxx. You can't get over that fact. You know, I know it's Tom Cruise, but it's Vincent. You know what I'm saying, guys? You know exactly how I feel. So let's just go to the next step. So, anyways, wrap this fucking thing. Collateral, and you know he's got collateral on him. You know what I'm saying? That's the basic bottom line. It's Jamie Foxx thinks he has collateral on Vincent. Anyways, Vincent's last target, of course, is Jada Pinkett Smith. The twist, right? Oh shit! It's his last target. And there's just a couple frustrating scenes because he's using the cell phone and he's like can't connect, and it's just your typical shit, and Jamie's running and shit, and he's outrunning Vincent, and I don't believe it. I mean, Jamie Foxx is not so look athletic, and Tom Cruise is fucking Vincent murder extraordinaire. But anyways, there's a scene where he gets off a shot on Tom Cruise. I don't like the ending because I want Vincent to live. I want him to. I mean, don't kill Jamie Foxx, but let Jamie Foxx, go on his way, and Vincent just disappears or something. Gets over on Jamie Foxx somehow. But anyways, he shoots Vincent in the with a fatal shot in the stomach, and Vincent Jada leaves with Jamie Foxx, and they're trying to say is that maybe Jamie Foxx can outdo his limo service because he has the guts because he killed somebody. I don't know what killing somebody to defending yourself or has to do with being terrorized the whole night. Has to do with giving you the strength to fucking, if anything, he's going to be more secluded and say fuck this shit unless Jada pulls him out of it. But check it out. So anyways, Tom Cruise, Mr. Vincent here, dies, and it's a good scene because at the end of this movie you start to feel for Mr. Cruise. And that's the thing I love about Tom Cruise. No matter how bad his character is, or even as a person he is, whatever you want to say, he makes you feel for him. And I love that about you, Tom Cruise. I love that you make me have feelings. I love that shit, and they come out when I watch your movies. Thank you, Tom Cruise, for choosing good movies and doing great movies and doing great at them. Jamie Foxx, fuck you. Fuck you for doing this movie. Fuck you for trying to be cool with Tom Cruise and thinking this shit was going to make you an Oscar winner. You fucked up this Oscar performance. Anybody else in this role would have killed that shit. Would have been an Oscar-winning performance beside of Tom Cruise. Were you kidding me? That shit would have been Oscar worthy. This movie was Oscar worthy. There's no doubt about it. Michael Mann, the cinematography, the supporting cast was good. Whatever, you gotta love that shit. It's like a basketball team. The bench people were just there, and then you have, your two stars. Your Scotty and your Jordan, and fucking Scotty comes up massively short as always. You can't fucking rely on a secondary. Anyways, I'm done ranting. The movie ends. You feel for Tom Cruise. You do. And that's what I love about Michael Mann. And I love about this movie. And like I said, Mr. Tommy Cruise. He makes me feel something. And it comes out, no matter how manly as shit I am. Whatever you want to say. I'm breaking it down. I'm feeling this movie. I'm into it. Fuck, Vincent shouldn't have died. That was some fucked up shit. And you feel it because you know why? Because you don't want Jamie Foxx to kill him because it's Jamie Foxx. It's not Max. It's not nobody. That's the thing about this movie. They could have had a win here. They had a win, but they could have had a huge blockbuster that you would always fucking talk about. But nobody talks about the film because of Jamie Foxx. So fuck you. And like I said, there's a cool kill scene with Tom Cruise that you will remember before John Wick. There's a scene in John Wick, I believe #1, where he goes into this club and there's this music playing, and I love the music in that, and it's just awesome. But before that, there was this Collateral with Tom Cruise, and you gotta hear this track. It's a good shit. So, anyways, props to you, Michael Mann. Much respect and love, and everybody else involved in this movie. So go see this movie. See it a motherfucking couple times. You know what I mean? And fuck you, Jamie Foxx. No doubt about it in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Not personally, but I'm talking professionally. You fucked this role up. You fucked this movie in a way. So thanks for listening to my rant. I love you guys. Yeah, yep. Peace out.